ladies and gentlemen. Nick was supposed to be here to pick up this ATV, and I'll tell you what, if he don't pick up his ATV today or tomorrow, I'm going to take it Bigfoot hunting with me because I need to get off-road to go where I'm hunting. But yeah, he was supposed to be here. He isn't here, so he actually sent me some footage. Take a look at this shit, what he's out doing on this thing here. You know, he's freaking crazy, I'm telling you. Yeah, look at that contraption he's got there. He's like, oh, you want to ride that thing? You know, I'm sticking on I stick on the ground, usually on 2 wheels or 4 wheels. I have no intention on ever flying one of them stupid things around, but, you know, he actually has started a YouTube channel, so I want to kind of do some collab with him, but you wouldn't catch me dead on one of those things. Yeah, so, you know, Nick, you need to, you know, protect your life and maybe think about getting some life insurance. It's cheaper than health insurance. Okay, pretty much finishing this quad up today. Basically going to grease all the grease zerts and then send it back to its home and clean it with this Amsoil Mudslinger. I'll tell you what, I had never used this before. I had bought this and ordered this specifically for this little project. They came out with this a couple months ago, and I really didn't want to push something that I wouldn't use myself. And I've got to tell you something. Let me tell you something. If you have an ATV with faded plastic, if you go mudding and get the deep dirt, stinky mud, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or you just want to keep this thing clean, or you're getting dirt and debris out in the desert and sand and whatnot, this stuff will do it. It has shined this whole thing up. We used to do a little trick when we used to do a lot of off-road, and I don't do any off-road anymore, but used to spray my quad dirt bike, whatever, down with WD-40. But this stuff has a nice little scent to it too, so it smells good when you're using it. But I can tell you right now, this stuff works. It shined this thing up. I really didn't think it was going to shine this thing up, especially this black plastic was all mud faded from where it had been muddy, wet, and then baked in with the sun. But it's restored basically everything. And then we're going to use waterproof grease. But thanks for watching. I'm going to send this thing back on down its road, send it back home, and get another project going on here. But don't forget to check my links below. Facebook, Instagram, TorrentPerformance. Yeah! And what we have here is, to grease all of his grease zerts, we're going to use the Amsoil water resistant grease, because I'm not real sure the conditions that he's riding in. So we're going to go with the waterproof. This stuff will be plenty of protection for all of his stuff. He says he rides down to Missouri. I actually knew that, but what's crazy is when you actually know where somebody rides by telling what kind of mud that they bring their four-wheeler into your garage with. I said, that's mud from Missouri. He's like, how the hell do you know that? You just know. So we will definitely get this going. You have a few grease zerts on the back here. It looks like there's 2 on the top of these A-arms for the rear suspension. And 1 in the middle for the bottom. It's starting to cool down here in Illinois. Not a big fan. Pump this in here until it starts coming out. He's coming out of there. This backside one's a little tricky to get to because of the angle here. Same deal on this side. You've got one, same deal. You just give it a couple pumps. See it coming out. I'm actually going to kind of force some of that. Actually, there's not a lot of grease in that because I can see the blue coming out of it already. And I will tell you, I actually was going to work on his brakes, but we didn't get brake pads ordered. I was going to change out all the fluid with DOT 4. Amsoil has some of the best DOT 4 there is on the market. Racing brake fluid. Use it in all my bikes. You will notice a difference with this grease. Okay. This one here is a little bit tricky to get to on this front one. Oh yeah, he's had fluid in that. And on the front here, you've got one on each side. And then I'm not 100% sure. That drive shaft that goes back to the transmission should have a couple zerts on it. My scrambler did. Grease that's coming out the end of it just pushed a bunch of, appears to be muddy water. I'm not sure what type of grease. You know, you'd be surprised how many people don't actually do this to their four-wheelers, or actually anything off-road that needs greased. You really save your equipment and problems by greasing your stuff. And there actually is a greaser here on the shaft, and there might be one up front. So actually, let's see if I can put this thing in neutral and roll it back. We'll see here. Okay, we can actually access this now. There we go. So we got everything greased. We're going to put these foot panels back on. If you're doing any work to this thing, I'll tell you, removing these foot panels is really a big plus. So take the extra time and remove the foot panels. And I had just applied the Mudslinger, and I bet this thing hasn't been this clean since the owner had bought this from the store. It just, this plastic, once it gets baked on dirt on it, it just, I mean, you can spray it and spray it and spray it and scrub it and it don't do nothing, and it's just shine this thing up. I mean, you can just feel with your hand that mud is not going to stick to this. And you can actually put this on. It says you can buff this in or you can leave this wet. I would think the wet would actually attract the dirt a little bit, so it would look a little dirty, but it would wash right off, would be my guess. So, but this thing was actually really easy to work on. It's nice having another ATV in here, and I've been looking for an ATV, a utility quad, but I haven't found one for what I want yet, so I'm not real sure how big I want to go. This is a 500. I think this has the same motor as a 500 Scrambler, and when I had my Scrambler I had a 400 two-stroke, and man, that thing ran. But I've kind of been wanting to go back to that two-stroke, but boy, I just don't want to buy something that I'm gonna have to entirely pull out the engine, because this is a big, Polaris makes big utility ATVs, and it's kind of a pain, and I'm real limited on my space. But yeah, I'm a big believer in this Mudslinger, so check the links below. Thanks for watching. More to come, and I'll tell you what, I'm out of here.